Yes, we know that we're migrating so we can make money and live the big life, but guys, hey royalties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Beingtami. What's up? Wagwan. In today's video, we'll be looking at what to expect after migrating as a nurse, the ins, the outs, what to do and what not to do. So please stay tuned for this video. If you're new and you haven't checked out my migration videos, please go and binge watch after this video. Anyways, let's get into the meat of the matter. So you completed all that you need to complete. You attended your embassy interview. You got your immigrant visa. Now it's time to deploy to the US as a nurse. Woohoo! So the first thing you'll need to know or you need to do is bring that immigrant visa packet. That packet you'll need to present to the officials at the airport when you get into the US, as that packet will be used to formulate documents needed for acquiring your green card. So you're here, you need to start working on those important documents that you need to survive in the US. 1, your social security number. 2, your driver's license. For the social security number, you will need to go to the office where you'll fill out the necessary paperwork and you'll be given a temporary paper that will have your social security number that you can use while you wait for the actual social security card. Of note though, for those who came up in the work and travel program, you would already have a social security number. So that is the same social security number that you'll be given. The next step is the driver's license. You'll need to go to the DMV, do the written test. After doing the written test, you are given a permit to go and do the actual driving test. Once those 2 tests are done, then you go back to the DMV with those permits. That's the written permit and the actual driving test permit, and you'll be given your license. Documents that you'll need when going to the DMV are your passport, which will prove as a form of identification, and you'll also need proof of address here in the US. So you need 2 proof of address. At the time I'd use where I was staying, so I just get letters that was emailed to me from the bank or from letters from my agency. Other things you'll need to work on. You'll need to work on getting a US phone number. You need to work on getting a US bank account. The US bank account, you also need to prove that you have an address here. So again, you're going to need to prove proof of address. So once you get that, you may open your US bank account. So on to the next thing. Where are you going to work? More than likely, you already know the institution or the hospital in which you'll be working. You did your interview with the hospital, so you know where you're going. Research is going to be key. Right. So you need to research where your hospital is, what uniform you're going to wear, what are the requirements. When I got here, my agency, we had to do a lot of prophecies for the hospital that we're at, because in the US, in order to start working at a hospital, you need to complete a series of online modules called prophecy. So you have to complete those and pass those. So once that is done, you know where you're going, you know what type of uniform you're gonna wear, you know your surrounding, you move on to the next thing, which is where you're going to live. So apartments. What I did was I went on Apartment Finder, I went on Zillow, I went on apartment.com, and I Googled apartments in and around my hospital proximity. So that's my commute will be short because I don't like to get up early, so I wanted a short commute to work. So those 3 websites helped me to find an apartment. So when you're looking at an apartment, you need to have 3 things in mind: budget, proximity to work, and amenities that the apartments come with. Amenities may include washer and dryer in unit. It may include trash, sewer. So each state will have different amenities, or each city or wherever you go may have different amenities available per apartment. So you need to know these things. Yes, we know that we're migrating so we can make money and live the big life. But guys, this is you're gonna be your first year. So do not go searching for an apartment that is too expensive. That is because you're caught up with how the apartments look. It have this, it have that. Don't be caught up with that. Set a budget so that you can be able to survive your first year. After your first year, you can do whatever you want because you can do the lease for a first year, and then you can always upgrade yourself after you have, have a feel of the environment. You can do whatever you want. Again, if you watch my previous videos, I may touch on a lot of some of these things that I'll be talking about. For apartments here, you need what is known as a renter's insurance. So you need our insurance to cover you while you're in the apartment. I used Renter's Shield, so that's what the one I use. But you can use any insurance company. You can use the same insurance company that you have for your car. That brings me to the other thing that you need to start working on: getting a car. So when you're coming here, you have no credit history. So where are you gonna get the money to fund your car? Do you have all of that money that you need to fund your car? So what I did, I went with a credit union called Advantial. Advantial, if you're watching this video and you want to sponsor your girl, please let me know. So I use Advantial because they were one of the only companies that accept you without a credit history. We're coming from Jamaica. We have no credit history, and that is big in terms of getting a car here. So I used Advantial and I got my car. You get your car, you decide on the car that you want. Guys, don't go big. Start low, guys. Start low. I know you want to live the big life and tell everybody in Jamaica that this is me and this is me. If you can't afford it, start low. It is also good for you to have a down payment, because having a down payment when you go to purchase your car will eventually lower the amount you need to pay monthly. So have a down payment. I had a down payment, so that lowered the cost that I need to pay monthly significantly. Insurance wise, you don't have a driving history in the US, so of course your insurance for the first year is going to be high. Here you can always fish around for other insurance rates after the first 6 months, so it's gonna be high. Just expect that. So you're gonna have to pay your monthly payment for your car. You're going to have to look for insurance, right? So those are important things that you're going to need for your car. In some states, such as Missouri, you have to pay property tax for your car. So ensure that wherever state that you're going, you know what is needed when you're getting certain things. That's why I said research. If you know somebody in the area, just link them up. I'm sure they will be more than willing to give you the information, just as I am giving you the information right now. Another tip with the car is you can always get a used car, because I have learned that when you buy a car here, and brand new car, 2022 car, as you drive it off the dealership lot, it loses value, it depreciates. So if you can get a used car, then go with that. After you have settled with the apartment that you want, you're going to need to set up a lot of things so that the apartment is ready for use. You're going to need furniture. A lot of people, when they migrate here, the first thing they get is a blow-up bed, and they bounce it on the blow-up bed for a while. So think about getting furniture. You know that you are going to come up here for however long you knew, 1 year, 2 years. So you should have been saving to do these things. So, start thinking about furniture. You're going to have to call your apartment complex and find out what electricity company they use. I use Amarin. So you have to call the electricity company to set up an account so that electricity will be available when you move into your apartment. You're going to have to call internet. You're going to have to call gas if you need to call gas. All these things you're going to have to do so your apartment can be living friendly when you get there. So wrapping up now, I'm just going to give you a list of useful things that you're going to need. Guys, when you're coming, don't pack a lot of stuff. You're going to have to be searching and finding an apartment. You don't need to bring a lot of stuff because you're starting anew. You don't need to bring 3-4 suitcases. That's just making your life miserable. 2, come with an open mind. You're going to have a lot of culture shock. You're going to do a lot of things that you've never done before. For me, DIY is a big thing over here. You have to DIY your furniture, you have to DIY your internet box, you have to put together a lot of things by yourself. Also, the third thing, when you go and you sign a lot of contracts or you go pay for your car, make sure you read the fine details. If you're not sure about anything, ask, because they're just going to assume that you know. They're going to assume that because you came to them, you know what to expect. So make sure you read the fine details and you know whatever you're getting into, you know all of these. Read the document, take the time to read the document, because they're not going to tell you everything as is. You're just going to have to find out things as you go. So they're not going to tell you how long whatever insurance lasts for, or when it's going to be renewed. You're going to have to ask these things. So make sure you're prepared to ask and inquire about information that you think is going to benefit you. Here you have to deal with a lot of apps, so make sure you have a phone that has good storage. There's an app for everything. App for your apartment complex, app for clocking in and clocking out at your hospital, app to manage your electricity bill, app for everything. So you need password and username for everything. So my advice is get a book or whatever you want to use to document these username and password, because it's a lot to handle. Everything here is internet based, yeah, everything here is internet based, so you have to be ready for that. And I was not ready for that because I'm not a computer person. So, and the last thing I have to say is enjoy the process. While you're here and you're still new, take your time to know your surrounding, know your local Walmart, know your local doctor's office, you know, where you can go to get a quick bite, who is next to you, who you can go for help if something goes wrong. You know, have somebody as emergency contact in around the area. So, you know, those are useful tips. If you have any questions for me, just comment down below your questions and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this video is useful to you guys. And if you have not already watched my migration videos, what are you doing? Go watch them. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye guys. Walk good.